it will take time, but like say it takes you 5 years. In 5 years' time, you know how to play the piano. It's like
You can't get that. You can't take that away from you.
And then you can serenade.
Hey man, that's what you're trying to do. That's the aim.
That's the goal.
That's the aim.
That's the goal. All this theory shit. No, I'm just trying to serenade. I'm just gonna hit the keys.
That's the aim, man.
He just wants to be able to say, "I can hit the keys." That's all he wants to do.
I want to make one album as well.
What?
Just one album.
You want to do
I
what?
want to make one album, innit?
Can I EP the tape?
Yeah, you can actually.
I'll EP the tape. I'll EP the tape. What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 71 of the Rhymes Like Diamonds podcast with your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed, and myself Yemi. And today we are joined by a special guest, rapper, artist manager, community organizer, co-founder of Route 73 and marketing whiz, having worked with the likes of Tion Wayne at Atlantic Records. We welcome Asher Kosher to the pod today.
hey.
How you doing, bro?
Blessings, man. I'm good. And yourself?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for coming down.
Bro, I'm pleased to be here, man.
Yeah,
Around
man.
the corner.
Exactly, yes. Local things,
That's a
local
yard.
things. So even better for you. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming down. Boys, how we doing?
Hey man, God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good, man.
Amen. How's your week's been?
It's been working, chilling, reviewing, listening to the albums that we spoke about. It's been an easy week for me. Not too stressed. Guys,
What?
watch Arsenal tomorrow. Hopefully we win.
Who you facing?
Leeds at home.
Oh, that's a dub.
Yeah, that's an easy.
Easy.
dub.
Don't put that.
double.
Easy W.
I thought that. Well, I saw us lose to Brighton at home.
Yeah, but that was before.
True,
That
but
was
yeah,
before.
I'm chilling, man. It's been an easy week. How about you?
Yeah, man. All good, bro. Just work. You know, keeping me busy. But yeah, man. We give thanks, innit?
Good, thanks. Yemi?
Yeah, man. All good. Work as well. Chilling as well, man. And it's a good thing you mentioned those reviews because we've just dropped 2 album reviews that are now on our YouTube channel. So check them out. We reviewed Future's I Never Liked You and Pusha T's It's Almost Dry. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, subscribe and you will see those in their entirety. So yeah, thank you for coming down, Asher, again. Congratulations are in order because a couple weeks ago, you and the Silhouettes Project did their sold out show in the Jazz Cafe, right?
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yes. So congrats for that.
You guys will have to come to the next
Yeah,
one.
no,
Absolutely. For those that don't know, the Silhouettes Project is a collective of underground UK rappers and singers. They came together in 2020, right?
Yeah, the album was released in 2020, but the project kind of started in 2019.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And then you had your sold out show at the Jazz Cafe as well.
Man.
I can imagine.
Nice
Yeah, I can
moment.
imagine.
I feel like, because in 2019 we were making the album, we had this big, there was a lot of energy. You know, we were having events, we were having studio sessions, everyone was getting to know each other. And we created this project, and then the pandemic came. And so no one really saw each other for 2 years.
It kind of paused the momentum that you.
We couldn't even do
an
an album launch. As an event, we launched the album digitally, but no one was together. Do you know what I mean? So the Jazz Cafe show was really the first time where everyone came back together and performed the album start to finish, all of the artists, or like near enough all the artists, with a live band in front of a sold out show. Like it was.
There we go.
It was a vibe, man.
Yeah.
It was
I can
definitely
imagine,
the best
man.
event that we've done. So
Yeah, man. To a bigger audience as well. So that must have been a very like
Jazz
humbling.
Cafe's mad, yeah.
Yeah, man. When you go in, it's just like good vibes all the time. Who exactly is in the Silhouettes Project?
Bro, there were 35 artists on the first day.
Good grief.
And I know I'm gonna miss someone off if I list them all off, but yeah, it's not really a collective. It's more like a community of artists, I would say. And at the time when we first created the project, me and my good friend Jaden, Earth Evil, goes by the name of Earth Evil, we had a whiteboard and we drew a list of rappers, singers, and producers. Started drawing lines between them all of who we thought would work well together.
That's crazy.
But that initial list was just people who we thought of off the top of our head. So it's not like we were approaching big artists or whatever. It was all just artists that we thought were really talented. So that's who was on the project. It was like people that were in our network. You know what I mean? People that we rated, people that we thought, they're doing cool stuff. Let's get them in a session. And that's how it was kind of born, man.
Great. Yeah, I mean, there's Enny who you
There's Enny, yeah,
who you manage, right?
Yeah, I co-manage Enny alongside Pyre Beats, Pascal.
Sweet. Shout out to her and shout out to him as well. Belka Bain, Lexamore, Manic MC, Feeble, you said. The list is endless, really. As you said, 35 names. That's when you actually say it like that. When you're listening to the project, you don't account for the fact that there's so many different voices on there. But when you list them, it's like, rah, there's actually a community right here.
Do you know what it is? I feel like also when you look at the tracks, you'll think it's just the vocalists, but actually the producers on that tape were as important as the vocalists. And like I think that's why, I always find that producers don't get the shine that they deserve. Sometimes you get like a Still Bangles who's like, I am Still Bangles, fucking pay attention to
Yeah,
me.
you get one or
More-
two like the J5s. the Still Bangles,
But even J5, like I feel like he could be, I don't know. There's not the same level of
Yeah.
attention.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So I think with the Silhouettes project, we definitely tried to like shine a light on the producers as much. So like where we could basically.
Yeah, I think with producers generally, like, Still Bangles is an anomaly because he's just a big personality, whereas producers generally aren't because they're so used to being in the background.
They don't
and
want to be.
yeah, they don't want to be as well. So Still Bangles is kind of like special in that regard. But yeah, I agree. Producers definitely need
Especially
more
in
shine.
the UK. I think in the UK, the producers don't get the shine they do. Because in America, you could reel off a few names, whereas in the UK, I think because we was just trying to get rap established, the producers had to take that back burner, let us get through the door, and then. Because before Still Bangles, was there really a producer that was named at it before J5 that we used to speak at consistently?
I mean, shit, we saw when we were reeling off the greatest producers in
the
UK.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? 2002 or what?
We were struggling
You know
up
what I
until
mean?
about we struggled up until about 08 or 09.
Yeah.
It got really difficult. So I think producers are only now. But I agree with you. I don't think it's unfortunate in the UK the way you can't name producers the way you could.
Well, also you get like figures like say Dizzy or Skepta or JME who like were known for their vocals, but they
But they were
actually made the
producing.
beats.
Big facts. Yeah, and that's a skill as well, being able to write and rap and
Crazy, man.
create beats as well.
Skepta just done ASAP song. He produced the one with Rihanna.
that right?
Yeah, the one Rihanna's in the video. Skepta produced
It's
that
sick.
as well.
It's sick. I love that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a
as well
whole
when you think
different
about it.
understanding as an artist. Like if you can produce, I feel like you understand music in a different way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can contribute to a session in a different way. Yeah, all of that.
Sweet. Well, before we dig deeper into the conversation, shout out to Spotify Massive, shout out to SoundCloud Massive, the Amazon Music Massive, the Apple Podcast Massive, the YouTube Massive as well. We're going to start with what we've been listening to. We'll start with you, Asher. What have you been listening to over the last week or so?
Do you know what? I've been listening to the next Silhouettes project.
That's a flex and a half.
There you go. There you go.
Shit. Nah, I've been listening to that tune called Protein by Jeshi and Obanjaya. Do you know the tune? I'm
Yes,
talking about?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that tune is hard, man. I really rate what them guys are doing.
Very much so.
The new Knucks album, I've given that a listen. I think that Storms track is hard.
Hard.
To listen to it,
Have you
man.
not heard
I haven't
it?
sounded it yet. I haven't sounded it yet.
Hard. That
Sounded it.
Stormzy,
Yeah.
listen, Stormzy is spitting on that one.
Yeah, he is.
swear.
bro,
Trust
that
me.
verse, man.
Trust
Spitting, spitting.
Spitting.
There we go.
Yeah,
On a stunting thing. It's not like lyrical miracle, but on a stunting
Just
thing.
it is what
The way
it is.
that, I'm not comparing him to Jay, but in the same way that Jay kind of stunts for fun, Stormzy's doing that on this
It's like
album.
the I don't know verse when he was just
Precisely.
Yeah.
He was
It's
just
like
stunning.
that.
The
It's
I
like
don't know
that.
verse where he's just stunning for the sake of it.
But I like the Knucks album, man. I feel like even just the way it's been rolled out and like how it looks and the presentation of it all is sick. I think they've done it really well. And I think it's a good reflection on him. And also, it's not through a major, it's through a distributor. And I love when an artist does that. It's like it's not independent, but it's near enough independent. So it means that a lot of the pressure is on him, but also the results will be on him as well.
Yeah.
And it's looking good, man. So yeah.
He's very much someone who's like from day one, from the ground up, he's kind of built that himself with his team, and it's kind of like a coronation now because
That's it.
he's done it his own way, sort of thing, rather than like having to rely on a label or whatever.
That's it, man.
So yeah, you guys definitely listen to him, man.
What about you guys? Have been
I just done the Future album, obviously, done the Pusha album. I was sitting on Jack Harlow's album on the way here. I changed after 2 songs.
no.
Changed after. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Not for you.
The golden child of hip
I'll
hop
be
right now.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you, man. I gave it like 3 songs. I'm gonna go back to it. It was just on the way here. I was like, hey, Jack Harlow, let's see what he's saying. It's not for me. It might grow me, but as a rider, the album's whack. Don't hold me to it. But that was mainly it. That was mainly it as well. I was listening to a lot of Jay actually. Went to the Black Album as well recently. I went back to Reasonable. Going back to the Black Album Reasonable was the one I went to the most this week. I do Jay a lot though.
Yeah.
Like I go back to Jay often. I go back to Jay often.
That's good.
Do you know what it is? It's one of those things. Like if it's just you don't know what to go to, it's always a safe bet just to go to one of his albums. I'm not gonna do what he does and go to volume 1 and 2. You know what I mean? That's just childish. I'm not gonna do what he does. I'm not going to volume 1 and 2. You expect
I mean,
better from
volume
me.
1 bangs.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going to volume 2.
Hey.
Yeah, me. So that's what I've been listening to. What about you?
I ain't been listening to much, man. Like Push, been sitting with that still. And there's a singer called Jack James. He released an EP called On the Rocks. So I've been sitting with that, and I think that's fire. R&B singer, yeah. So check him out if you haven't.
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
Yeah, he's dope.
I saw your tweet.
He's dope, man.
Peter doesn't tweet often, so when he does tweet, you know it's something monumental. and he tweeted about Jack James, so I saw that and I was like,
he's dope, man.
Where are you?
for me, the Push album, Future's album, and outside of that, not much to be fair. I checked out the new there's a kind of house producer called Surya Sen. He dropped an album called At What Cost recently, and that was cool. Listen to that. Very eclectic, but you know, a vibe. And I also listened to a jungle producer called Nia Archives. She dropped an EP called Forbidden Feelingz, and that was good as well. So jungle heads, if you haven't heard of Nia Archives, get onto her, man.
You plan to sit on Jack Harlow's?
Probably not. I sometimes feel bad that I don't care for his music because he's such a cool guy and such a nice guy.
That's why I sat on it. He genuinely seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
So let me just give him the benefit of that.
Yeah. I'm just not interested, man.
He's blowing up though.
Fully.
No, he's out
Fully.
of here at this point now.
Is he a plant?
I don't know, man.
I actually worked his stuff when I was at Atlantic, but the track was popping. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
His like
yeah,
break
yeah,
up,
yeah,
his
yeah.
blow up tune, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And,
he's
like,
he's on the like he's.
I couldn't work him out at that point. I was like, I don't really get it, but like,
I still feel like that with him, though,
numbers,
bro. Like, I just don't get the appeal.
girls love him, man.
Girls
That's what it
love
is.
him.
Yeah.
Black women as well. They love him.
Yeah, because
Black women love him.
But he's a nice person. Like,
Yeah, and he's cool.
He's genuinely a nice
Yeah.
guy. Innit? Yeah,
he's cool, he's suave, he's got good intentions. You know what I mean? So it might necessarily lend itself to the music, but you will probably tolerate the music a little bit more because you like the guy.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So it's probably that with him. I might go to it, but I've seen a couple of tweets saying it's horrible, so I don't know.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, someone said, I think someone said Pharrell gave him a beat out of a trash can or something like that.
Sean C, who's a YouTuber, he said that the album's is probably the worst thing he's heard all year. So I don't even know. I'll get to it when I get to it, if I get to it.
I'm going to listen to it today. I genuinely want to sit on his album. I'm going to force myself.
Fair enough,
I want
man.
to go in with an open mind
No, you
Do
don't.
that, man.
before I become Peter.
Why are you looking at me, bro?
Before I become Peter. I
Yeah,
want to
true.
go.
What do you
do
mean
know what I
before
mean?
you become
Because
me?
before it goes too far, next thing I know, I listen to our album.
I mean, you're getting there.
Since 2012. I'm trying to. Do you know what I mean? So before it becomes that, I've listened to Dirk's album, gone through Baby's album. Let me sit on Jack Harlow's now.
So Asher, because you don't know, there's a running joke that amongst us three, the old head in the crew is Peter because he hates the new generation of rappers. He hasn't listened
That's
to anything.
not- that's
He
not
hasn't
true,
listened.
bro.
He hasn't.
True,
But
bro.
this
That's not true,
this is true.
No, it's not
Anyway,
true.
you know, and he hasn't listened to anyone before 2015. So that's basically
It's just
the
not
thing.
true.
And I don't want to become that.
I mean, it's been perpetuated, and sometimes it's right, sometimes it's accurate, but it's cool. Actually, you mentioned the second Silhouettes project.
Yes.
When is that coming out?
Oh, don't hold me to it. No, I said it on stage at the event, innit? And
then everyone
asked me, I had to say it. I said, I'm going to say September.
September.
Yeah. It's basically done, but it's like the hardest part is the last last little bit, you know what I mean? So
Is everyone coming back from the first album or is it?
No, it's
changes,
like a
drops
mix.
and
There's
changes?
some old people, some new people. It's going to be fucking banging though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on the
Nah,
podcast.
No, go true, man.
You're good. Do your thing.
Go true, go true.
Nah, it's sick. I feel like everyone has just taken their craft a little more seriously since the last tape. Like the last tape, bear in mind, Enny had no music out when it was made. The Silhouettes project wasn't out, obviously. Bare artists hadn't put their projects out that were in our community. So it was made on blind faith. It was made on let's make some good music. And then obviously it's done what it's done. And I think now people are coming into it with a bit more of a, right, this isn't just, it is what it is. I want to make my best piece of music for this tape.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a
just
kind
natural
of,
growth.
yeah, friendly competition, innit? It's not like no one's getting at each other, but everyone wants to better the next.
Because you want to,
Yeah.
it goes like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it only helps grow the project and only helps grow them as artists.
that's it, man.
Who are some of the artists that will be on this? You allowed to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
No. We got some sick artists like Frankie Stu and Harvey Gunn.
Oh, nice.
On it.
Okay.
We got Koji's dropped a verse for us
Oh, dope.
Okay.
on this tape. Let me not say too many more.
Aye,
I
say
don't
no
give
more.
it away, but like
Two good names, man.
it's it's
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
man. Like
yeah.
I feel like people have taken notice and want to contribute now. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we're not like we want artists on the tape who want to be on the tape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the main
Just the
thing.
natural.
Yeah.
Hear that, man. Well, looking forward to hearing it, man.
Yeah.
Everyone, be on the lookout
I'll
for
make sure you
September.
guys get the
Yeah.
Oh, please do, man.
when it comes
Please
out.
do.
Yeah,
Please do.
please.
Yeah,
Please do. But yeah, man, everyone be on the lookout for that. But now, kind of want to shine the spotlight on you because, you know, you've been in the game for quite a long time. And it'd be dope to kind of just hear your story, man, and how it started. Like, obviously, you're a massive hip hop head. How did that start? How did you find hip hop? How did hip hop find you? How old were you? Tell us the story, man.
I think, well, I used to like rock music when I was like 8, 9, and 10 kind of thing. Used to be a skater. And then there was a change where like, I think even in one skate video, they used to make these skate videos, didn't they? Used to buy it on VHS and watch it. And there was one skater who had like a hip hop track running in the background, and more often than not, it's like a rock tune playing in the background. It's like very loud rock music. And then this one tune came on, and it was like different. And I was like, "What's this?" Like kind of thing. I must have been about 10, and I feel like that was like the turning point where I was like, "Alright, cool. Like there's a new kind of music that I like." And I remember telling my dad's mate about it, and he made me all these mix CDs with like Jay-Z, Tupac, like probably Eminem as well. And I just started, that was where I started listening to hip hop, and that was American hip hop. And then I think Dizzy Rascal came out, started listening to Dizzy. And then I found like proper UK hip hop. That was like something that I really liked. So like Jest, Kalashnikov, Sway, like all of those. I don't know, it's different, innit? It was a different scene. That Roll Deep album, In at the Deep End, that was kind of different as well at that time. So yeah, I think that's where I started liking rap music. Myself as an artist, I think I just started writing lyrics. So quite young, like 14, I was writing lyrics. My mum's, she writes poetry, so I kind of had that. And my dad, like, he plays bass in bands, and my uncle's in a band. So, there's a musical thing going on.
So you were always around music, and it was kind of always going to be like the course you were going to take?
No, I don't think it was necessarily the course I was going to take. I don't know if my parents wanted that for me, but
it was always around you, though.
Yeah, it was always around me. Yeah, that's it, man.
Did you play any instruments?
I learnt piano for a little bit, but it didn't really work out. Like, to sit there like with
it's
someone.
Difficult, man.
I don't know. It was weird, man. Yeah.
Ain't you doing that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're doing piano lessons.
It's difficult, man.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. I think like that environment of being taught how to play the instrument is not the fun part. Do you know what I mean? The fun part is playing with other people in the band and catching a vibe. And I think like it's hard to get there without the lessons, but the lessons are awful unless you really like your teacher. Like I did have one teacher who I liked, who was like this. He was like some big Cockney guy, like tattoos all out here. He was playing like stride piano. It's like rhythm and blues, old school rhythm and blues, like, and that was cool. That was different. But I think, I don't know, are you doing grades and shit or?
Not yet.
No.
I think even just trying to learn has given me like a different appreciation for musicians, because there's something that happens up there when you're playing, man. I can't even explain it, but it's another level of genius. And I think had I not tried to learn it, I won't be able to appreciate certain musicians.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely, man. Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think you should carry on though. That would be my word of advice.
It's difficult, man, because I'm having to learn a theory as well, and I'm not really on that.
It will take time, but like, say it takes you 5 years. In 5 years' time, you know how to play the piano. It's like
you can't get that. You can't take that away from you.
And then you can serenade.
Hey, man,
that's what you're trying to do.
That's the aim,
That's
man.
the goal.
That's the aim.
That's the goal. All this theory shit. No, I'm just trying to serenade. I'm just trying to hit the keys.
That's the aim, man.
He just wants to be able to say, I can hit the keys. That's all he wants to do.
I want to make one album as well.
Pull out the
What?
electric
Just
piano.
one album.
You want to do
I
what?
want to make one album, innit?
Can I EP the tape?
Yeah, you can actually.
I'll EP the tape. I'll EP the tape. So who are your favourite rappers growing up?
I think it changed over time, man. Like I think in the UK, I think Dizzy Rascal and Kalashnikov. Kalashnikov because he's from Stoke Newington, and that was where I was from. So I was like gassed.
I don't hear his name enough, man.
Yeah,
He's
I think
ill.
Nah, you don't get it. You don't. You definitely don't.
I think he felt like he was the victim of his own way of seeing things, if you know what I mean. Like I think he could have done a lot more than he did in the end, so that's a shame for him. Skinny Man as well, that album Council State of Mind, like that's mad. That project is just crazy. Like they did that with the resources that they had at the time, and it and the story behind it as well. I don't know if you know, but like he hasn't seen any money from that album ever. So it got released through for a label that the guy then ran off with all the money, and to this day it's not on Spotify. It's not like distributed properly. So it's this like weird cult classic album. But I don't know if you've heard this album, but yeah, it's banging. You should.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he's doing a show for it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's touring again, which is sick. Like it's nice to see that.
Yeah, he was away for a long time as well, so it's good to see him back on it, man.
I think in America, we were having this discussion before, but I think Nas is up there, Eminem's up there, Jay-Z's up there, Tupac's up there for sure.
Absolutely. I think you can't go wrong with that list of names.
Yeah. Solid list.
Yeah, for sure. But from that list, it seems as if like you have a real like respect for like the art of rapping and the craft as well.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah. Going back to the tune that you heard on the Skate video, do you remember what tune that was?
Yeah, Gangstar full clip.
Jeez.
Yeah, I remember.
That's Yemi right there, boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Yemi just
Yeah,
moved his hand
yeah,
like this.
man.
Yemi didn't even say
No,
no.
Yemi's
hand
When
went
Yemi
like
gives one of those,
Yo,
No, because Guru, I feel like is one of the most slept on rappers, and I think more respect needs to
that
go
hit
his
Yemi
way.
so.
It did though. Full clip is a banger. What?
no, it is a
Nah,
banger.
it's a banger.
Yeah.
Big
just the way
L,
you
rest in
moved
peace,
it.
and then the boom
Yeah,
boom.
it's the way
you
Come
just
on,
moved
man.
it.
Fresh out the gate. I know every word to that tune. I can't lie.
I hear that, man. So when did you start like properly like making music?
I was writing from when I was like 14, and then when I went college, I must have been 17. I met a producer who I still work with today, but he makes drum and bass now, and he does all the mastering for the Root organization. And we started making music together and recording in the college like studio or whatever, and that was my first real like attempt. And I've listened to that tape and it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, that was the first attempt. Then I went to uni and up in Leeds, and like in Leeds at that time, there weren't really that many rappers. I felt like suddenly I was like, people are shouting me for shit, come and do shows. Like there were promoters. Promoters were the people in it. There were better promoters trying to do events, parties, like, and they always needed an MC. So I was just getting booked for shit. Like I supported The Pharcyde in Leeds, like KRS-One, K Coke, fucking mad artists. You know, just having this like little buzz of like 2 years of just getting booked for shows and releasing music, and that was where it kind of became serious.
When was this? Roughly.
Between 2012 and 15.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a long time ago, man. Like I've been making music for 10 years, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I think I took it seriously at that point, and then when I came back from uni home, I realized like what I was missing and what I didn't make the most of in Leeds, which was having bare musicians and like resources everywhere you go. Like there's studios, there's people's studios in their bedrooms, there's like Leeds College of Music, there's this event here, there's that. I just thought, yeah, that's calm when I was in Leeds, but I didn't really go out and get it. Like I was getting offered shit, but
You
I
thought it was
wasn't
a
trying
norm,
to
innit?
go.
Yeah.
And I came back to London and it's like, everyone's just in their little corners making music, and it's like I just felt like not lost, but like something needs to happen here, kind of thing. And that's where the Route 73 idea came from, like just trying to bring everyone back together a bit.
So in Leeds, did you find that there was more of a sense of community versus London?
I think naturally in it, like just because it's a smaller city, and like even the music like scene is contained within, well, the student scene is contained within like a few blocks.
Yeah.
Everyone lives very close to each other.
So you see each
know
other's
what I mean?
faces
So I think,
regularly.
Yeah. I think the community comes from that, and people going to the same nights. Whereas in London, like you could be from Hackney and never see someone that lives in Brixton.
Facts. Especially back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So with Leeds, do you feel like you were there, it was like right place, right time type of thing? Because obviously you were supporting these big names, you were able to, I imagine, peep game from them as well. Do you think it was a matter of right place, right time for you in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. I think I fell into like a good groove there, but it taught me a lot. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes you need a bit of luck in this music career. I always think like you can be as talented as you want, but if you don't work very hard and also get a little bit of luck, then it might not happen.
Yeah, it
Do you
might
know
not.
what I mean?
You
You
just
can
need
be
that
as
one
talented
break.
as you like, but unfortunately, there's better other talented people as well. So.
No, I hear that. What's one like moment or one or two moments from that era for you, from that time in Leeds, that kind of stick out to you still and kind of helped you as far as an artist goes?
I got booked for this run of shows that we made into a tour. So like I got booked to go to do one in Leeds, then I went Manchester, then I went Jersey, the Channel Islands.
Oh, right.
Wow.
And then I went to Brighton. So I got put on a plane to go to, you know,
Just
what I mean?
flipped it
It's
to you.
mental, bro. And that was the K Coke show, so I got booked to support K Coke in Jersey in 2014 or something. It's very weird, but it was sick. And that for me was like, raw, like I'm on a tour. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. That was a real
And,
experience.
were you still dropping music at the time as well?
Yeah, we had videos going out, but it was super budget, like, in fact, no budget videos, you know what I mean? Just borrowing a camera and shooting some stuff around Leeds. There's a whole, like, series of videos on YouTube somewhere of me, like, back then. But yeah, man, and then I didn't really drop anything for, like, 5 years after that, because I was focused on, actually, that's not true. I did drop some stuff just when I got back from uni, but, like, organising the community and creating Route 73 really took over for me after that.
Okay. Was that because you wanted it to take over, or was it more of a thing of like you've taken on a new passion and it kind of just took center stage?
I don't know, man. It just happened. I think I've been forever making tunes, so I'd never stop making the music. But I think like when you go on a different journey and it's being fruitful, you kind of think, where am I best placed to put my energy? Do you know what I mean? And I think you can't always put your energy everywhere. So it's like, I think I just thought, I'm going to place my energy here. And also I think it actually came from an understanding that like being an artist is not easy. So I think it might have been me trying to avoid the struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, did you know, I don't mean to cut off, did you know you were going to always come back to music?
Well, like, I've always secretly wanted to make music, and I think now I'm in a sweet spot where it's like I don't necessarily have to have all the pressure of I'm gonna make it as an artist, like, or I'm gonna be a career artist or be super famous or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's not really about that. It's more about like I love making music. That's why I'm in this whole thing originally. So let me not forget that. Yeah, because otherwise I'm not being real to myself.
So you don't feel like you need to balance the two?
Well, I still consult for major record labels, and I go into the office and discuss these campaigns, but then I'm dropping tunes on my Insta and people are looking at me like, what's this guy? But fuck, like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Jack of all trades, man.
Yeah, there's no reason that I shouldn't be doing that. And actually, you speak to the people at those labels, and half of them want to make tunes as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like no one goes into their career thinking I want to do digital management for record labels. Like they're a DJ or they're a producer or something. So
and that's always there.
Yeah,
that's always in them.
That makes sense.
Were you able to maintain any sort of relationships with the artists that you opened for, or build any sort of relationships?
Back in Leeds,
yeah,
nah,
not at all.
Man. Like, yeah, I spoke to KRS, which was like obviously I was just gassed at that time, but I was young, man. I was like 21, so you know what I mean. K Coke, I spent a very brief moment with, like, but no, not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Damn.
Is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
it is what it is,
If I'd known, that's what I mean. I don't think I made the most of those moments. That's what I was getting at. It's like in Leeds, these opportunities were coming, and it was just like I was excited, but I wasn't thinking, how can I use this to my advantage? I wasn't using social media to the best of my ability. Like I wasn't.
It was still so new to you as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what doing a show for Pharcyde really meant. You know what I mean? Whereas now it's like you can shout about that a lot more and create a whole moment for yourself out of it.
So what would you do differently, or what would you tell younger you?
I think I would just be like, you need to take a second and appreciate it. Don't just be excited. Like appreciate this moment a bit more, and make sure you get some time to speak to the artist, because you could probably learn more from them. However much you post on social media or whatever, like get more followers. But if you have a good conversation with an artist, like that can change your whole year. You know what I mean? You can learn a lot. And I don't think if I went into a conversation with them, I was being like, I fucking love you. It's not like, can you drop me a little bit of knowledge? You know what I mean? So that's what would change.
Okay. So you're back in London. What led to the creation of Route 73?
I think it was mainly the feeling of like everyone being in their own little pockets and feeling like wanting to work in the music industry, but feeling like everyone is just pitted against each other, and that's like just how it is. Like it's competitive. So I found myself watching other people's numbers on SoundCloud. This is before, I think it's even before Spotify came out potentially. I can't remember.
So there's like the SoundCloud era where there's an underground kind of bubbling. You got Koji Radical, you got Sims, you got Knucks, those type of people.
Yeah. Okay. And just feeling like people are just in their own little pockets, and feeling like potentially we could do something to unify that. So I started making tunes with a good friend of mine called Maya, who's also from Hackney, and he like invested in some studio equipment. And so we were just pitching up at his mum's flat in Finsbury Park, just making beats. And then we came up with a name. In fact, do you know what's funny? Johnny came up with the name.
course he did. Shout out Johnny.
Big up Johnny, man.
Big up Johnny Vivas.
Let me just give him his props. For that because-
Shout out to him.
Johnny.
So yeah, he came up with the name. And when we came up with the name, yeah, it was like, okay, this actually feels suddenly a bit more than just production. Because at the start, it was just me and my mate making tunes, and then when we heard that name, we were like, wait, this feels bigger than that. So like, what could it be? And that's where the kind of community element of it came in. And I think we wanted to do something in music, but that had a social significance. Because I think there isn't enough social movements in London anyway. They're all like, I don't know, everything is, we're always encouraged to look after yourself, be individualistic, like every man for himself. And that's fine, don't get me wrong, you have to. But I think also, let's not forget that if you work with other people, you can achieve more. And actually there is a power in numbers, you know what I mean? So anyway, that was the kind of like ethos that we were coming up with. We just started bringing people through to the studio, recording them, and then putting stuff out on SoundCloud. And that was great. Like we had a digital presence. It felt like there was a bit of buzz. And then we were like, should we throw a party? So we organised this event in Dalston, and there were no tickets on sale, and it was all on the door. So we had no idea what was going to happen. It was like a complete shot in the dark. But it was at Dalston Roof Park, which is obviously a nice venue. And then it was just full, bro. And then like there was a queue outside, like people couldn't get in. We were just like, fucking, this is mad. Super like just gassed. And after that event, we were like, okay, we've actually got something here. So let's just keep hitting it. And yeah, man, just kept doing events, kept releasing music, and it kind of started to snowball like that.
So between when Route 73 started and you had your first party, were you had you released a lot of music within that point?
Like 10, 12 tracks probably. But that's like 6 month period.
Yeah.
So it's not that long really, but like we were just, the energy was there, you know what I mean? We were just like, let's go for it.
Consistent.
And obviously it was enough to garner an audience and sell out your first event as well.
Mad, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
We were baffed, to be fair.
And obviously running a party as well can't have been easy.
Yeah, but it was sick though. It was well worth it. You know what I mean? You get a lot of energy. I think that's like when you're doing something from ground up, you need, like for you three, you need each other in it to provide the energy. It's like if you're doing something on your own and something goes wrong, it's easy to just sit down and be like, oh, fuck this. But if you've got like a whole team of people or audience, it's like
they just keep you on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Has there been like an easy or difficult process trying to find like-minded artists that follow your mission and agree with your mission and align themselves with it?
I don't think it's been difficult. I think. What do I think about that? No, there's a lot of artists out there that align with the vision. I think, and then I think it's just sometimes it's hard for us to make that choice, isn't it? Who do we work with? Because there are more artists than we have capacity to work with, actually. So I think sometimes it's like hard decisions, really. Do you know what I mean? You can't work with everyone. I think at the beginning, certainly it was more a case of us reaching out to people, doing a bit more A&R and like figuring out who to bring in. And I think now we're at a place where we've got quite a stable community of people and people feel like they're a part of it already. So
okay.
How do you discover the artists?
that,
How do you find these artists?
at the start, it was like people that you follow on Facebook and Insta, you know what I mean? They're sick, let's shout them, let's see if they'll come for a session. And I think slowly but surely, as you like meet these people, you see who they're working with and the network becomes bigger and bigger. I don't know, man. Like, I think social media really is how it happens. And sometimes you go to a show and you might hear someone or whatever, but more often than not, I think it's just, like friends of friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Who were the first artists that you were dropping tracks with?
I dropped a few personally to just like give us a bit of energy. I think Manic MC came through. He was early. There was a girl called Lily Casely. There was a collective called the Soul Riders who are from Hackney that had like Harvey White, who's still making music with people like Keep Vibes Near now. Yeah, man, just like a few people like that at that point.
Okay. Yeah. So still quite like, obviously you had Pi who was local as well. You had people who were very much like people you knew.
Well, so Paya was in Leeds at the time. So we didn't cross paths in Leeds, but he went to Leeds, I think the year I left. And those couple of years when I was back in London, he was in Leeds, we were dropping music with on SoundCloud with people that he knew. So when he finished uni, he came to the studio and was like, I want to get involved. And that was like 2018, I think. Yeah.
So when did Route 73 become a thing?
2016.
2016.
Man. We're talking 6
Whew,
years ago.
6
bro.
years,
Yeah,
6 years.
It's been a long journey, man.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And obviously, like for a lot of people, their entry into Route 73 is Enny. Because, you know, she obviously, you know, blew up and she's doing great for herself as well. How did that relationship come about?
So Pass was working at Represent Radio and got sent Enny's music and then DM'd her and was like, I'm going to add your tune to the playlist. Also, I make beats. Do you want to listen to my beats? And then they got in a session and then pretty quickly he brought her to Route, at which point I met her, and that was like 2019, summer 2019. Just explained to her the vibes and then we just got cracking, and we just released her. We made the first video, released her first single. In fact, the pandemic hit just before we dropped the tune.
Yeah.
And then I remember calling Enny being like, do you want to go ahead? And she's like, yeah, of course I want to go ahead. Like, what do you mean I'm not stopping now? Just done all this work. And yeah, the rest is history. Man.
Was that single Peng Black Girls?
No, it was He's Not Into You. So there was a single before that, He's Not Into You. And that went out, and that's what kind of got her noticed by a couple labels who then signed Peng Black Girls. Yeah.
That makes sense. So by that point, are you managing her? Or are you just like handling her from the kind of Route 73 route rather than the manager route?
No, it was a management situation from early, but Pascal is her main manager and like kind of brought me in because I had knowledge of the industry and an understanding of just how to progress an artist's career from my work with Root as well. So it's like a team vibe from very early on, man. Yeah.
So as far as
Enny's killing it, man. I went to LA with her last
Jeez. Quick flex.
Look at life.
Quick flex.
Bro, it was mad. LA is crazy. It's my first time in America, so yeah, I was just gassed.
I mean, did you expect her to like get as much popularity as she has done?
I don't think anyone expected it. I'm not gonna lie. Like Enny's sick, and when you hear her music or her live, like you know that she's got something special. So it's like clear as day for you to see. But like I was saying, like you could be super talented and not have that bit of luck, and who knows what happens. You know what I mean? I think Peng Black Girls just came. It was the right message with the right packaging at the right time and the right artist, do you know what I mean? And it became what it became, and rightly so, do you know what I mean? But there was nothing guaranteeing that. So if you'd asked me before the tune went out, is it going to be a global hit? I would have been like, I don't know.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I think what's special about Enny as well is that obviously in the climate that we're in, especially on the mainstream level, when you have people like Ivorian and Doe and you know, people who do and present themselves in a certain way, Enny come through quite refreshingly. She's a barrer. She's rapping about what she raps about, positivity and all that. Rap. And she can rap as well. So there's something really special about that. We rarely see that in this country. We rarely see that in the UK. So for her to do that and kind of in such a short space of time is like nothing short of great as well.
It's sick, man. And yeah, like she's got untold bangers there. So more to come, man. More to come.
Jeez.
Yeah, bro.
Looking forward to it. Is an album dropping soon?
We don't have plans for an album yet, man. I think there's still like people forget she's only been around for a year. You know what I mean?
Very true.
It feels like longer.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But there will no doubt be an album, but I don't think that's the next thing on the list for us. Yeah. She's got lots of shows this summer. She's got busy summer. So
that's good then.
Yeah, man.
I bet she's still got to work the last EP as well, right? The first EP.
Yeah, that's still going, man.
Yeah.
That's what she's touring this summer, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a good one as well. So yeah, shout out to Enny, man.
Shout out to Pass on the beats as well, man.
Pass on the beats as well.
Yeah.
Also, did he produce on the on the beats as well?
Yeah,
Sweet, man. Yeah, some good beats on there as well. So as far as Route 73 goes, obviously it's a artist community, it's a label as well. What have been kind of like some of the challenges for you as far as like building the label, building just the brand generally?
I think the way we set it up has made it the challenge, as in we set it up as a non-profit organisation. So we wanted people stepping in to understand that we're not here to like abuse or extort. Because that's what so much of the industry is about. That like we know that when people step into a label situation or even a studio, they're like a bit hesitant, you know what I mean? Whereas we felt like the non-profit element of it kind of just cancelled that out. It's like you're coming into a space where any money that gets made goes back into the whole thing. But I think that that's made it slightly difficult, because if you do things for profit, it means that when the profit's there, it gets shared out properly and kind of people get paid properly. Whereas with Root, it's been very reliant on voluntary work. And I think that's been sick, and it's what makes it special. But actually now that everyone's a bit older and that we're all trying to take this thing a bit more seriously, it's a real challenge trying to work that out. Like, how do you transition a community voluntary organization to a real, like, not profit driven necessarily, but like a functional, sustainable business? And I think we're making those changes, but yeah, we're definitely like falling prey to our ethos in a way. Yeah.
I think that's what's interesting about the industry in general. Like, something like any success for any label might be like, especially like a young up and coming label, might be like a big money earner to people who might not necessarily be inside the industry. But when obviously you dig a little deeper, it might not necessarily be the case. Do you find that? Do you find that people have like seen Route 73 as this like kind of bastion now that should be doing certain things because of her success?
Well, so we released Enny's first single under Root, but then Paying Black Girls was signed by Fam, who is basically Georgia Smith's label. And that decision at the time was like, we want the best for Enny. You know what I mean? We didn't necessarily have the infrastructure in place or the funding to provide the means to do all the videos and all that kind of stuff. So maybe like the understanding is that Enny's success has contributed massively to Root financially, but actually the contribution has much more been about her flying the flag for the organization. You know, like she came to the studio before she'd released any music, and now she's still a part of the organization representing, and I think that's, it's as valuable in a way. So I don't know if people are waiting for the next stuff from Root, like they just got to wait a little bit longer, because there's a few banging projects coming, but they're still in the works, man.
I hear that, man. How many artists does Root like work with?
Over the years, hundreds, but I'd say at the moment there's probably like 8 or 9 that are kind of using the studio on a regular basis and producing projects.
Okay, who are they?
So Earth Evil, Manic MC, myself, Purple Cloud, Enny, Joe Beard, and then there's a few development artists as well that are just kind of stepping into the scene a little bit. So.
Sweet. So how was your like kind of consultancy work with all the other labels kind of helped your brain as far as like trying to run Root?
It's helped a lot, man. I think it's kept me plugged into the scene in a way. So I think without it, it would have been like much harder to really have an impact on something like a Silhouettes project or Enny, to really offer tangible advice. But yeah, no, I took an internship at Warner in 2018 and then kind of worked my way up through the label system. And I think it's led me to just see all the aspects of how a campaign is run. So now when it comes to finding and developing an artist, it's like, I kind of just know what to do almost with my eyes closed. It's like, these are the assets we need the press shots, the video, like, etc. And I think that's really how it's helped. But also, like, the music industry is small, man. So if you spend a little time working in a label, you're going to come into contact with people then, and then in a couple of years' time as well, you're going to see them again and they're doing something else. They're working with a different artist. Or, so
what does consultancy look like versus being an A&R?
You can be an A&R consultant.
Okay.
So consultancy is just the term for work that's not full-time. It's basically what I see it. I was doing marketing full-time, and that's like 9 to 5. You go to the office, you're there all the time. You get given a roster of artists and you plan out their campaigns. That's what my job was. And then now as a consultant, labels will ask me, will you do this album for us? Or so the Koji Radical album, for example, Atlantic, when I left Atlantic, they were like, do you still want to do Koji? Okay. And that made sense, but that was on my terms a bit more, and I had a bit more control over it. Plus I'm only doing one artist. So that's what the consultancy thing looks like. And it's the same role, nuts and bolts, but actually I just do less of it.
Did you work on Tion and Russ's Body as well?
Yeah. That was a mad. That was
What was that like?
Oh, is this a safe space?
Oh, I mean, come on,
Always,
man. Come on, man.
Always.
Come on, man. We're the safest space on the internet, mate.
Yeah, that was it was life changing. I'm not gonna lie, that whole experience was fucking crazy for me because it's like it was life changing for them as well. Do you know what I mean? So being a part of it was just mad. But
Because Body went number 1, didn't it?
yeah,
It was out of here, bro. Body
First
was like
UK drill
the
number
biggest-
1.
Yeah, Body was crazy.
but
when it
also
dropped.
number 1 in like Italy and Australia and shit. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Then the remix came, and obviously like he got RD on it, and that bit of RD's verse just blew the song up on TikTok, and it became what it became. But like there were so many different points in that whole thing, just because like kind of the label and artists were not really, they weren't in agreement on what should come first and how it should be done and how the remix should be done, and it was all happening so quickly that like it was mad stressful. And I was in the middle of it as a marketing manager. You're like speaking to the label, the artists, you're speaking to the artist managers, the video people, the artwork. You're making sure the track goes live on time. Normally you've got weeks and weeks to do that. You're doing it like you're planning. But with Body, it was like, fuck it, I'm shooting a
24
video
hours.
now,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
24
yeah,
hours
yeah.
now, like,
Yeah.
we like he dropped for the remix video. I'll never forget. Like he said it's coming out at 8:30, but that day we're still editing the video in the grading house in central London, and 8:30 is approaching. It's approaching, and then we miss 8:30, and it's like,
What
you know what I
can you
mean?
do?
Like,
What can you
for
do?
me,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, bro,
Them ones, yeah.
this can't get any worse. And then we put the tune out at like 11 or something like that. It went live at 11 p.m.
Bloody hell.
So it was a mad sweat, but obviously happy days in the end.
Yeah, they didn't make
Was
much
that-
difference ultimately.
Was that the
Yeah.
biggest song you was part of? Like you've been part of?
Yeah.
Would you say that's the biggest song?
Yeah, definitely.
Makes sense.
I mean, like, I've assisted on some big, like other big songs, but I'd say that one's like, yeah, not just in terms of numbers, but I think impact wise, like that's the biggest song. Yeah.
Have you ever assisted or consulted on a project or a song that you weren't really feeling?
Oh, bare times, man. You have
For
to,
real?
Yeah. Because not consulted,
Okay.
not consulted. But I think I've worked on tracks that like I wasn't necessarily mad passionate about, but you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
And actually, those songs like contribute to your learning. You know what I mean? You learn from those experiences. I think.
Yep, yeah.
Does it
more
affect
often.
your artistry in any way as well?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that I was gonna say that earlier. I feel like working in the industry and being at a label definitely affected like my even desire to make music, because I was kind of like, you're sat at your desk, yeah, and there's just speakers playing pop music all day, and it's like, I'm sure that's affecting my brain. in some way.
Yeah, but you gotta go later and try and write
Fully.
some bars.
Oh,
It's
fully.
like, yes.
And then you don't want to. I remember getting the tube home and I didn't want to listen to music because I've been listening to music all day. So I'm on the tube and I don't even want to listen to my own tunes.
So it's where's the inspiration coming from?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
listen
yeah,
to
yeah.
Dua Lipa all day.
But like
It happens, man.
since working from home during the pandemic, and then since going freelance, I've definitely like found that love for it again and started listening to all the old albums and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man.
Is that what's kind of coincided with you kind of, I suppose, returning to music
Yeah,
in a respect
No,
this year?
Definitely, man. I think having more time during the pandemic, like I just started creating more, getting into the studio with my friends and making tunes, and then there was suddenly a tipping point where I had enough that I was like, oh shit, like, it's a project here. So I think, and then since going freelance, I've had way more time to make the videos, to plan everything out, to take it a bit more seriously. So it's been a slow process, but I've been intending to do this for ages, I mean, for so long. So it's nice to be doing it, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, but just other stuff got in the way, right?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. But so be it. You know what I mean?
So you made the
Everything happens
project,
for a reason.
yeah, absolutely. So you made the project of what during lockdown?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe one song I had before, so one song might be kind of old, but sometimes it happens like that, man. Sometimes you make songs and you don't like them, or you don't do anything with them, and then you come back to them a few years later, patch them up a bit, and yeah.
Were there some things while you were making this project that, you know, when you look back on your past of making music, that you felt like you had improved on, or you new techniques you had employed? What was the creative process like?
Yeah, I think I don't necessarily find it the easiest to write like all the time. Like I think I have to be in the right zone. I have to have something that I want to say. I think what's different with this project is I was a bit more intentional about what I did want to say, and I was I feel like with age, you kind of know who you are a bit more. So maybe you don't say certain things that you might have said before, and you say them in a different way and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like lyrics-wise, that's probably the difference. And then I think music-wise, the stuff getting made at the studio is levels, man. Like there's like some seriously talented people, and I think even partly what was holding me back was feeling like, can I even participate in this conversation? Like, do you know what I mean? Am I good enough, basically?
You felt that way?
Yeah, man, definitely. I think like most artists will question themselves at some point. It's like, it's the curse of being a creative. I think it's like you're your own worst enemy, and you want to doubt yourself at every possible turn. And I definitely felt that. So I think in the musicality sense, I think everything is better now. Like the music sounds more full and together and thought through. It's not just beats and lyrics, it's like songs. Yeah, man.
Was there a moment, or was there something that kind of got you out of that mind state of feeling like you were inferior?
Do you know what it was? I was just working on everyone else's music. So I was the marketing guy, or the organizational guy, or the label guy, you know what I mean? And I always felt like, no, fuck, I'm not that guy, bro. Like, I am that guy, but I'm not just that guy.
I'm not just
So I think it was more just in my own head, man. Like I wasn't really sharpening my tools. I wasn't really like practicing in that zone enough. So I think it was just a decision, really. It was just like, no, actually, like I am good enough, and I'm just gonna go for it. And as soon as you go for it, people recognize it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the songs aren't shit, so that's basically,
it's organic, innit? It's the way you've done it.
And I think like hearing other people react to the music, say like Enny, or even though I'm close with Enny, do you know what I mean? But like hearing her opinion of my music definitely gives a sense of confidence. It's about your peers first. Do you know what I mean? If your peers accept your music, the rest follows, kind of thing, in a way.
So, I mean, obviously you're a man of many titles. Do you consider yourself an artist/rapper first before anything else?
I think for now, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Especially now you're in project mode as well.
I have to, man. I think like I think that the community, like activism and organizational aspect of what I do will always really be the priority. But I think at the moment I'm focused on making my music. Yeah.
How has Route 73, while you've been making this new project, and has it had any kind of like influence in how you've constructed the project?
Well, like I said, we've been going through a phase of figuring out how we become more sustainable. So I don't know if it's had a direct impact. I feel like I've been figuring out Route and then working on my own music. But I think obviously I've made all the music at the studio. Everyone who made the instrumentals is from the community. It's like everyone who features on the tape is from the community. It's very like, it's almost like a Silhouettes project, but with me on every track.
Yeah. So it feels very much like a family album,
like, yeah,
as well as your one.
Exactly. That's it, man.
Are you calling it like a mixtape, an album, a project?
EP.
I'm gonna call it an EP.
Yeah.
But it's quite a long EP. It's like 8 or 9 songs. But who knows what comes after? I don't know. I just don't know. We'll just have to see, man.
How would you describe your sound?
I think, do you know what? I would say like jazzy hip hop, but
that's what I got.
Yeah, but there are 3 songs on there that like are not that. They're just like a bit more, they're like 140 BPM, they're a bit more jumpy. And I'm kind of excited to see how they're received as well. So yeah, I think it's like, let's call it jazzy hip hop for now.
That's the feel I got as well. Like listening to the couple of tracks. Yeah.
But I think that's probably the most accurate way for people to understand it. Like, yeah.
But if you want to go bar crazy, I'll take it. If you want to go bar crazy, I'll take it. Like.
Yeah, bro.
So when you say 140 BPM, you talking about gram?
No, it's more like they're more. I suppose it's got a grimy element to it, but I think like I was making beats. Like my beats, anyone will tell you who comes to the studio, my beats are more like jumpy American style, kind of the Baby, Bop on Broadway, that kind of beat, the 808 kind of. Super simple, but like just with a bounce. And I think I took that and tried to make it into something that was a bit more interesting for the UK, and that didn't feel like it was just American, if you know what I mean. So I think like when I say 140 beats, that's what I'm referring to. It's like it's not necessarily grime, but it's definitely got a UK feel to it. Yeah.
I hear that, man. Sweet. So lyrically, like in terms of the EP, like what are you like? If you can share, like what are you kind of talking about? What are you kind of exploring with like your lyrics?
I think where I found my like confidence was talking about the situations that we're all in day to day and kind of the society that we're living in, and commenting on that, man. I think that's like what I have the most to say about. So that's what it really is, man. It's like social commentary. That's what it's always been, man. If you listen to my old music 10 years ago, that's what it was then. And it's like, I think maybe I kind of tried to do something different for a little while, but actually where I'm most comfortable is talking about stuff that people can relate to.
And where do you think that comes from?
My parents, man.
Yeah.
My parents, they're like, they love to get political. They raised me in that way. I was on the demos when I was a kid. Like, yeah, that's how I was raised. So I feel like my version of that, I'm not necessarily active politically at the moment, but I think creating an organisation that is free access studio, non-profit, that's a political statement for myself. And then my lyrics are that as well.
Yeah.
So.
Do they listen to your music?
They have done, yeah. No, they like it.
Yeah.
They like it. They like it for sure. Like, I think they're very like open to anything. You know what I mean? As I was saying, my dad's been in bands. My mum writes poetry. So yeah.
And even on the kind of political slants, I mean, you did drop that Systematic Change single as well, and you were kind of addressing, you know, the kind of George Floyd type of post George Floyd kind of environment as well. So I suppose it's in you, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. That was mad because there was so much going on at that time. Like, I don't know if you remember, but those few weeks were like really intense.
There's a lot going on.
Very much.
And like that just came out, and I just recorded it and then made the video and then put it out. It was like, that was my, I don't know. It doesn't often happen. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. But it was just like, I need to just write something in it,
just to get something out there.
Yeah.
Did you say you produced on your album as well?
Yeah.
So what gasses you more out of the two? If you write an amazing song, or if you come out with an amazing production, like which one feels you more like? Yeah.
I think I make more beats than I write lyrics. You know.
So alright, cool. But because I always ask producers and rappers like which one, if you have both that are perfect, which one are you more excited with?
I think I'm better at rapping though. But like, I think basically I can make a good beat and get it to a certain place, but then I can't do anything more of it. Like my knowledge of how to finish an instrumental is just not there. I've never been interested in all the plugins that you can get for Logic and like, I'm not like mechanically minded like that, so I can make a beat but I can't translate it to something that sounds really polished and finished. Whereas with lyrics, I know when the verse is finished, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like for that reason. Yeah.
So would you prefer to have somebody produce a whole project for you, or would you rather do it yourself?
No, I think having someone there is sick. Yeah. I think this project, like, there's a few producers who have sat with me and helped me through it. And I think that's been essential, because otherwise it's like, it's a lot, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And like, we often have the J. Cole argument.
I was actually about to say the
he
same
gets
thing.
in his own way sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can see how, if you're talented in both fields, you can kind of get in your own way. You might start micromanaging yourself, and you may not know when to step away.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if that might have been the same for you.
Yeah, I feel like the way I got around that quite early was by just sourcing beats from other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't like, it was never going to be like a Kosher Productions tape. You know what I mean? I was like very willing to. In fact, I made some beats for the tape and took them to other producers to finish. So it was always going to be collaborative. But I think like I was saying earlier on, like being able to produce and write lyrics, it makes you have a different understanding of music in general.
Yeah.
I think like even the way you might flow on the beat gives you a different understanding of the pockets. You might have ideas for an instrumental that you wouldn't if you didn't know how to produce or whatever. So I feel like the two go hand in hand, man. Some of the greatest rappers in the world are producers as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Who were some of your favorite rapper producers?
Well, like
Or producer rappers?
no, like Dizzy Rascal. I mean, they're the same, man. Dizzy Rascal, some of his biggest tunes he made.
Yeah.
Eminem, some of his biggest tunes.
I don't like any of his beats, you know. Not the ones he produces.
I know what you mean. You can hear them, innit?
Yeah,
you
do you know
can
what I
really
mean?
hear them.
He produced Lose Yourself, didn't he?
Yeah, he produced Lose Yourself, like it's with someone else. But
I
Yeah.
think Missy might be the GOAT.
They're doing
Missy-
that.
No,
Missy.
as in she's up there. She produced a lot of her songs.
Yeah,
with
with
Timber,
Timber,
obviously,
yeah,
but
yeah.
she has to be top 5.
Yeah,
top
no, I
6.
hear
Has
that.
to
I
be.
hear that.
Has to
Yeah.
be top 5.
Jay Dilla for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, that's a good
Dilla for
point.
me.
He was holding on to that. Okay.
Yeah, you've been waiting.
He had that in the clutch. He had that in the clutch. As soon as you asked the question, he had it in the shit.
Yeah, Jay Dilla and Ye.
It's probably Q-Tip for me
Yeah.
and Dilla and yeah.
The only reason I can't say Ye is because,
Or Ghostwriters.
yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, that's the only reason Missy's ahead of Ye, just because of the Ghostwriters. If he never had that, I would have given it to Ye. But when you write all your bars and you come out with what you've got,
Yeah.
Missy's in my top 3, man.
No, she kind of has to be, innit?
Yeah.
There are some mad like people like Pharrell as well. We don't like talk
Yeah,
about him that
true,
much,
yeah.
but he has made like he's had. I can't remember what it was, but it was like more songs in the top 40 than. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Like,
there's
there
a
was some
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
stat where he
It's
had
like-
like a whole year he had.
Yeah, it was like 02 or 03. Like it was like 80% or 60%
Yeah.
of
Like
radio, of
seven-
US radio or just radio in general was
75% of
was Neptune's
2
productions.
years was all Neptunes.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the radio run was
That's
all
stupid.
him. Like, that's just a dumb run.
Yeah, but he's writing the lyrics. He's making the music.
Nah, he's definitely
like,
up there. He's definitely got
so-
status.
100%, man. That's crazy. So when is the well, first of all, what's the project called and when is it dropping?
So shouts to Enny for the name of the project.
So we got shout out Enny for Route 7. No, we got shout out Johnny for Route 73. We got shout out Enny for.
Yeah, I'm used
Enny
to
for
the
the
names
project.
if you didn't get it. But yeah, it's called Good Luck. It's called Good Luck because I feel like everyone needs a bit of good luck. And also, my name Asher means lucky.
Okay.
So at one point I was gonna call myself Lucky. I'm glad I didn't, but the project has taken that name, man. So yeah. And you asked when it's coming out.
Yes.
I don't actually have a date yet. You know, I think I'm just gonna run with singles until it feels like there's an appetite or I feel right about it. You know what I mean? But it'll be this year, after summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man.
And you've got a new single dropping out soon, right? With Earth Evil.
Yeah,
right?
that's right, man. Yeah, so the track's called Focus, features my brother Earth Evil, produced by whoever, and it's coming out May the 20th. Yeah, it's gonna have a video. It's gonna be sick.
Who produced On Our Street?
Illiterate. He's called Illiterate.
He's
so he
dope.
produced At the
It
Bay.
was a crazy production, that's why. It was
Yeah.
a crazy production.
Yeah. He's
Very good, yeah, he's
mad
dope.
talented,
Yeah.
man. He produced At the Bay on the Silhouettes project. So
Okay,
the Lex and Moore
okay.
Bell Cobain track.
Sweet. And what do you want, above all else, what do you want listeners to take from the project?
I feel like just to understand me a little bit more, you know. I think like if I'm being real, that's why I've made this project, is to be true to who I am a bit more than I have been. So I think if I can communicate myself and my thoughts in a true way, then that's the result, man.
I hear
That's what
that,
I'm
man.
looking for, man.
I hear that, man. Because for a lot of people, like, as much as you've been in the game for so long, it is a reintroduction in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's just an introduction period. So it's kind of like you got a second chance to kind of make
Yeah, man, definitely.
make an impression.
I think also just like, I guess it's been a struggle for me to get to a place where I want to put the music out again, or a bit like it's been you know what I mean? It's been a journey, and I think hopefully I can inspire some people that are in a similar place where like they have a slight talent or something that they want to do, but they don't quite do it. And I think like if people hear the story, then maybe they'll be like, yeah, fuck it. Like Enny quit her job to do music. Do you know what I mean? That was inspirational for me. She quit her job when she hadn't dropped any tracks.
Yeah.
Like me and Pass seeing that, we were like, Jesus, like that's sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sick. Your eggs are in the basket. Like we're gonna run with this. But not that I've done exactly that, but I think it's like it's that kind of
Jump.
It puts fire in your belly to kind of
Yeah,
just
man.
pursue it even more,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, when
So
you see
like-
people doing that, it has to, innit?
Yeah, man. And I think like hopefully more people can. But people are too stuck in their things, man. People need to just. There's only one life.
It's the
Too
worst.
short.
Definitely, it's genuinely that. Like, why not try to reach for the stars and then?
We live in a place where like we can do that for a little bit. I think, you know what I mean. Obviously, it's not the same. I don't mean to say that everyone can just do what they want, but like if you have a chance, I feel like you should take it, man.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of like either life advice or musical advice that you've ever received?
Brother, that's too hard, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I think I think just taking time, you know. I think like we're always me and Jaden are always talking like day in day out about the project, and sorry, Jaden is Earth Evil. Always talking and reasoning with each other because like what we're trying to create is quite intricate, and so we're always talking and we're always like trying to think about what the next thing is and how we push on and all these plans. And sometimes that's not the way you should do things, man, because like then you never appreciate where you're at and you never appreciate what you've done. It's always about the next thing, and I think like obviously you have to think about the next thing because otherwise you'd be shooting yourself in the foot. But also we always just remind ourselves just to take a second, appreciate where we are, and then also appreciate what's just happened before we start thinking about the next thing. Because if you don't celebrate the wins that you've just had, like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why Root is so important, because it kind of flies in the face of the music industry in general. Like, that's literally what the music industry is, what you've just described. Like, especially if you work for, or if you're in a major label, or if you're just like someone who's like more like commercially driven as an artist, you're always on that kind of what's next type thing, and never really able to like take in the wins. Like, if you're breaking records, you're not ever ready to appreciate and enjoy it because you're trying to do other stuff.
100%, man. Yeah. People, it's a struggle as well. Like, you could have a huge song and then you're always trying to top that song, but you just made the fucking huge song. Like, you should be happy with that.
You don't have time to embrace it as well, man.
Yeah.
It's just quick natured.
Yeah, it's like when Real Madrid signed Kaka and then a week later they signed Cristiano Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying?
It's literally like that.
You feel me?
You lost that
feel
one
you,
from
bro.
going to Neil Miller, but
Say what?
never mind.
Don't do that.
Never mind.
Oh shit, what's the score?
1-1. Finish 1-1. The league's
They
done for
finished
them.
1-1.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll take that. The league's done for you lot, though. So
It's not done.
the league's done.
Hey, babe. Well, it's harder now
The
anyway.
league's done, bro. If they
It's
win
harder
their
now.
game, it's 4 points with 3 games left. The league's finished. But
I feel you.
And if they lose,
they're not you.
Anyway.
It's techie.
You'll be alright.
bro,
You'll be
free
alright.
from me.
You got a Champions League title. You'll be fine.
Free from me, man.
Shut up, man. Cool. Well, I mean, dope chat, man. I mean, all the best with everything as well, man. We're definitely going to be keeping track of the new single and the EP to come as well. So, you know, definitely looking forward to that. We're going to finish today's episode with a fun topic. And
I got a
It's all
question.
good.
Do you lot still throw parties?
Yeah, man. You need
Yeah,
to
we
come.
need to
through,
come.
bro. Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
to
come
go.
on.
The next
We do.
one, you lot come through.
Yeah,
for sure.
generally we need to reach.
is there a next one?
Yeah, we're trying to do something in Tottenham on the 21st of May.
Oh, say no, we're
It's
there.
outdoors. It's in what's the park next to Broadwater?
Wait, is it Broadwater Park? Broadwater Farm?
Yeah, what's that park? The Lordship.
Oh,
Rec?
the Lordship Lane
Yeah.
Park. Yeah. Oh,
Someone's
that's
putting
about 10
on-
minutes from
Yeah.
there.
Someone's putting something on there, and I think we're gonna do a little set there.
Oh, yeah, that should be fun.
Uh,
Yeah.
Is that cool for you?
Yeah,
Because the way you said it was like, oh.
No, if
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
in farm, if it's like that's a peculiar position.
Yeah.
Place. But
I
I get
thought that
no
when they-
Lordship Lane Park. It's more near Black Boy Lane and
Yeah,
Ida,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's fine there. It's actually sweet. We're gonna go. We're
I'm
there.
down,
We're
man.
there.
I'm
But if
down,
not that
I'm
one,
down, I'm down.
there's more coming, man. Yeah, for sure. We're
Hey,
gonna
no,
hit.
yeah, man.
Things back open, so we're gonna hit it hard.
Dope, man. Well,
We're
all
there.
the best of all of that as well, man.
Well,
Yeah, we're definitely gonna shake a leg for sure, as long as no future's being played, because people won't enjoy. But it's all good. Yeah, we're gonna move on now to the fun topic, and we wanted to talk about. I mean, we all love food, right? There's not one person in this room that doesn't. But we wanted to get into food's relationship with rap and take it amongst ourselves to kind of name our favorite food references in rap. There's loads of them, some good ones, some bad ones, but we're gonna chop it up now. So we'll start with you, P. What you got?
I've got Method Man on Ice Cream off of Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links.
Obviously,
He's like, watch these rap yeah, all up in your guts.
guy said
French
the N-word.
vanilla bar pecan chocolate deluxe.
This guy had a go at you for saying the N-word last time, and look at him.
Yeah, bleep it out, man. Yeah, bleep it out, man. But yeah, man, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's eternal.
Yeah.
It's an eternal bar.
Yeah.
You want anything else?
No, that's it. That's all me.
I
Man.
feel you, Mo.
Oh, I got one here. It comes from the greatest rapper of all time, Gunplay. It's when he goes, I'm at a round table where you see that, where your plate, where your lobster, where your sea bass. Are you crazy?
You don't even eat sea bass, bro.
Who hasn't had
Sea bass is
I
great.
had sea bass a month ago. Don't ever act like you know my life. I actually did. I genuinely had sea bass a month ago. Everything I love. Come on now. Asked if you don't want it sweet or chili. I said sweet, even though it was optional. But yeah, that's my favorite rapper. Are you crazy? Well, your sea bass. It's the way he says it as well.
Sea bass.
Nah.
Yeah, it's
I
mad.
Gunplay body that verse if we're being honest. But that's my one.
I hear you. I kind of went.
I reckon. No, you don't reckon he bodied that?
I liked it. That was cool. It was cool.
Bodied Kendrick, if I'm being
cool,
honest,
man.
but I'll leave that alone.
Bodied is strong.
He
but I feel
bodied
you.
Kendrick.
No, for you.
Yeah.
Great verse though. I kind of went over the top with this one.
man.
I've got Kanye West Last Call, Mayonnaise, Color Benz, I Push Miracle Whips. I've got Rick Ross from I Love My Bitches. Am I really just a narcissist because I woke up to a bowl of lobster bisque?
I mean, you could be.
Obviously, I've got Doom. There's one line on Gas Draws, cooler than a million. I be chilling, still quick to slice squares like Sicilians. I know why you guys are laughing. It's all good. I'm the president of the Doom fan club. I accept that. There's also Beef Rap, obviously. Beef Rap could lead to getting teeth capped or even a Reefer Mar Dukes on some grief crap.
Jeez.
Come on.
Skepta had one.
Come on.
Skepta had one.
What did he?
What did he have in that freestyle when he goes?
Ace Hood Flow. I'll be
What was it?
I'll be in Dubai eating in Nobu. Word to Domi and T. This food tastes lovely.
That's one.
But that's Asher's one.
There's another one when he goes.
Not my one.
It's like, I had a dream about chicken and chips like an Egypt started chewing.
no, that's
Woke
my
up,
one.
Started spewing.
Yes. The freestyle.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bleep his name out. But yeah.
Yeah, believe it.
Yeah, believe he's there.
Yeah, I'll bleep his name out. But
yeah,
that
for
freestyle.
real,
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that freestyle. Classic freestyle. To be
Like
fair.
Ace Hood one's crazy as well. I can't lie. Ace Hood.
I've got one more.
man.
Big pun from Band from TV. Champagne on the rocks, rock on a Fort Knox, Lazarus, shark saddle with carrots, pork chops, and applesauce.
He ate a lot as well.
Do you know who had bear? I'm just thinking Action Bronson.
Action Bronson has
He's
loads.
got a lot, but I can't think of any. But
I was actually looking for Action Bronson bars as well because he used to be a chef as well. So
I
he's
think
already
he
got
still
that
is,
thing.
man. He loves that shit.
There was one bar.
Up north.
He's got
I found
so
out
much
he's a
weight,
chef
though.
up north.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he had one line about like lion's neck, like the secret ingredient was lion's neck or something, some weird thing. But yeah, man, that was fun, very very fun. So salute to you guys for the choices, and Asher, salute to you for coming down,
Yeah,
man.
big
Very
up,
much
man.
appreciate
Thank you,
it.
bro.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man. Thank you.
Yes,
Great,
man.
great,
How can people get at you, man?
You can find me on Insta. It's the best place. Asher_Kosher. So ASHER_KOSHER. And if not, Route 73 or the Silhouettes Project. You'll find me there too.
There we go. Looking forward to
Man of many talents, man. Thank you very much again for coming
all the
down, man.
projects dropping, bro. Looking forward to the
man.
projects dropping.
Love, man.
Absolutely,
Keep doing what
absolutely.
you guys are doing as well. It's been sick.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it. We're gonna sign off now, boys. Any shout outs before we take the people out?
Cleo Soul, man. Bro,
We missed out on tickets.
So upset.
We missed out on tickets, bro.
I'm
They sold
so
out.
upset,
They sold
bro.
out within seconds.
Yeah, he's fuming.
This guy,
I'm so
and you
upset,
thought they weren't
man.
gonna sell out.
I've seen everyone trying to get them as
Bro,
well.
Oh,
oh,
man,
man,
it's dumb.
so
you
disappointed.
So you bigging up?
Huh?
You bigging up Cleo?
Yeah, always.
Listen, man.
And inflow, of course.
Obviously, yeah, man. I was upset as well. Can't even lie to you.
Yeah.
Maybe not as upset as you, but
Yeah,
I was
so
definitely upset.
disappointed, man.
But shout out to
was
Cleo Soul.
Yeah, you know who's got a ticket?
Who's got?
Edit out.
You
Keep my
probably-
name out though.
Anyway. I ain't got Yemi, I ain't got no one to shout out. Just good night. God bless.
You don't want to shout out Giannis?
Nah, I pray. You know, I'm praying for Giannis. I'm
cool.
praying for Giannis to the compo. I want everyone to know that.
Feel you.
And if
You-
Giannis wins, go trajectory.
Your basketball head, Asher.
Yeah, I play basketball. I don't really follow it though, you know.
Feel you.
But I actually play basketball. But yeah.
I hear that, man. Well, I ain't got no shout outs except for you guys, the listeners and the viewers. So thank you very much for viewing and listening. Big up to Drake's behind the camera as usual.
Salute to you all
Big
the
up to
time,
you, sir.
all the time, all the time.
Yeah, man. Thank you for listening. We'll be back very, very soon. But until then, stay blessed, stay safe, and peace.
And Kendrick's dropping a classic. Remember I said it.